Welcome to the Great Lakes Smoke Podcast Show. What we talk about basically is the love and the passion of cigars, pipe smoking, tobacco, alcohol, brothers chilling out and having a good time, laughter.
Well, how else are you gonna, enjoy a nice bourbon?
And you kind of went animalistic on tobacco buying, haven't you?
And the Rocky Patel Pure and Simple. I don't know, that thing just tastes so good.
Aficionados, and welcome to the Great Lakes Podcast Show. Oh, we got a hot show for you tonight. Little heat from Florida coming up on you guys.
That's cool.
Yes,
we could use a little heat. It was a little chilly day today.
It was? Well, actually, it was not bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't terrible.
The wind really bummed me out today. I mean, it was like 40-mile-an-hour gusts out
Took
there.
all your hair off. I saw that.
It did. One clean sweep. Woo! But it was hard starting the barbecue. I know that much.
Welcome, everybody. Tori, Ralphie, Scott, Mr. Curvy Gente.
Hey, what's happening?
All right, check it all out. Hey, in your honor tonight, Kerr, I didn't know what to smoke, so I figured I'd take one of your smokes tonight. Yes, indeed. Stogie Road, Encarnacion 35. One of my favorite cigars.
I like them.
We got a lot of them.
They are a good smoke, man.
Yes, they are. Daniel's on. Welcome, everybody. Got a lot of newbies coming on, and last month and a half, we've got a lot of new people. So
really?
Thank you.
You want to read off their names so I know who they are now?
No, you better. Yeah, you can do that off the air. The bathroom's over to the right. Anyway, guys, welcome aboard. Just to let you know who's who, what's what. My name is Ronnie Pecorini. This is my brother Bob Pecorini.
What's happening, man?
And in the top left corner, the maestro, and behind the scenes, smoking in his own little bar tonight in his pipe, the one, the only, Kyle Gesso.
How you doing, everyone?
Oh, and Dr. Gabby. Huh? What's up? How you doing, Dr.
Gabby?
And from Lake Mary, Florida, this evening, in his own little Churchill lounge, the one, the only, Stump the Chooch Master, Cousin Frank.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
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 That's an unusual hello. That's a weird greeting there, Frank. Hello.
Very deep.
Very deep. He's a deep thinker. He's a deep thinker.
Well, he's going to be thinking us later when we try to stump the Chooch.
I know.
After our wonderful interview with our special guest. Folks, stay aboard. It ain't over after the guest is now.
I don't want to interrupt, but I will.
But go ahead.
But, Dr. Gabby, I have really been impressed with the look of that rope cigar that you have introduced. And I'd like to know where I can get it. I'd like to try it.
We'll call Doc himself.
I know I can call the Doc himself, but I'm saying something local. I wish he was up here locally,
Once this wonderful pandemic, as I'm calling it, is over, we're going to get Dr. Gabby and Kurt together. We're going to get a couple of cigar events up here, and we're going to get
maybe we'll
products.
just go back down there.
That would be nice.
Visit him again.
I'm up for a Florida trip. Let's go.
Down to our special guest, who's not too far from him either.
Our special guest. We'll grab him. We'll go by Doc's, and we'll try out those new cigars.
Yes, the Culebra. That's it. That's what he's interested in.
It's a beautiful looking cigar. I just like to know how it smokes because that interwinding is very interesting to me. I find it fascinating.
Well, you know what? We got to order some, and then we'll have him on the air. And he's going to tell us, hopefully, how this whole came about.
I hope so.
But that's in the future. But right now, folks, welcome aboard. We got the hot man coming down from Florida himself. He's the main guy of Cigar Prop on Sunday nights. He is the Macho Man imitator. He is the winner of this year's band label, man, with the one, the only, Kevin Shahan. How you doing, Kevin?
What's up, man?
What's going on? Am I live? Am I on now?
Yeah.
You're live. I can't see all that smoke.
So, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the Drew Estate Experience Acid Studios. You are correct. I come to you live from the sunny Gulf Coast of Florida. I'm in a little town called Northport. We are in South Sarasota County, in case anybody wants to know, and I am honored to be on your show tonight.
Oh, we're honored to have you. There you go.
So the Great Lakes Cigar, where's everybody else located at? I know we got one in Lake Mary, which is about an hour from me. Where's everybody
we're up
else?
in Chicagoland, next to Lake Michigan. That's why we call the Great Lakes.
We're by Waukegan, the naval base.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so nobody's from Michigan. Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
No, we're actually
Yeah, but
from
you
New
can tell by
York.
their accents. They're
We're
from
from New
Michigan.
York, and we're transplants here.
Okay.
We're next to Barry Bones, Argento.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're from that side, not far east. I mean, really far east from where Kerr came from Pennsylvania. So,
Okay.
You know, New York City. Bottom line, that's the original spot.
Right on.
He was across the river, but it's okay.
And Kyle is right down the road from us,
Yeah.
born and raised.
I'm a Chicagoan.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
Chicago.
So
He paid
Chicago,
tribute, and we allowed him in.
home of the guys that make the Cigar Medics, the humidimeter. You guys familiar with this?
Oh.
So
What's that about?
you guys never seen the Cigar Medics humidimeter?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Get out of here. Well, so basically what this is basically it's a psychrometer. It's what woodworkers use to measure wood, but
Yeah,
this was actually
that's the idea.
calibrated to measure black tobacco.
Oh.
So
wow.
basically what you do is you take it, press the on button, you can stick it in a cigar either with cellophane or without cellophane. And what that does is it gives you the moisture reading of the cigar. This one is at
Where do you get that?
This
man?
was at 67%. This is it's from Cigar Medics. And like I said, and they're Chicago boys. That's where they're produced out of.
Oh.
I don't
and,
even know about that.
okay.
I like
And,
to get one.
Oh, an absolutely fantastic cigar, or a device that helps me, being a cigar reviewer. Sometimes, you guys go, everybody's done this. You've smoked a cigar, something was off. You don't know, you don't know. It's like, was it too dry? Was it too moist? So I just use the humidimeter and, we'll stick my cigars to make sure they're, within a good range that I can smoke them. And then what the good thing is, it also tells you just because your humidor is set at 70% does not mean that your cigars are at 70%.
Oh, absolutely.
I have had fits with my last humidor. I finally got a new one. It would read 72%, but then some cigars were at 55%, some were at 75%. So it helps me, make sure I've got a good cigar to smoke. And then it helps me adjust my humidor when I'm rotating my cigars like we all should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not just top to bottom. For me, it was top to middle to 3/4, and then, so
For me, it's one humidor to the next humidor to the next humidor.
That's it. I'm actually got a brand new humidor sitting right to my right here. And I did an unboxing on it, as several guys did. We got a humidor company reach out to us, and there's a little flaw in the humidor. And I don't know if it's a big flaw or a little flaw, but without the humidimeter, there's absolutely no way I would have ever been able to tell if this flaw will help me, say, okay, yes, buy this or don't buy this. So
Yeah, very interesting. Can you tell me again what's the website for that? Because I definitely want to get one.
Yeah, it's Cigar Medics, so it's CIGARMEDICS. It's cigarmedics.com. And they're like $30.
Oh, that's not
okay.
well worth it to have a good smoke.
Absolutely.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
so it's a
bad.
fantastic little a device, and like I said, I've been helping promote it. I don't make anything. Like I said, they're just good people. They have a literally a mom and pop, machine shop in Chicago, and like I said, they came out with this device, and it's really good. There's a lot of cigar manufacturers, big and small, that constantly use it. Nish Patel always has one in his pocket or handy.
Wow.
So it's definitely got some street cred and some
Can I
big
ask
names,
you, will
big
that
names behind
also
it.
read on bulk tobacco and leaf itself?
I don't know if it'll read on leaf itself. It really needs, because it's reading moisture across 2 points. So
Right.
when you're putting it into the cigar, it's reading, the resistance between moisture.
Okay.
So I probably if you took the leaves of the tobacco and bunched them up real tight
Right.
Yeah.
and stuck it in, it would probably read it. It would
Okay.
probably read it
We'll,
that way.
we'll
That's
probably
very
have
interesting.
to.
I
I
want to
definitely
thank
want to get one.
want to thank Kerr, everybody who's on Facebook. Curvy Gente had put down the connection here. CigarMedic.com. If you want to go back on
All
the
right,
show,
Kurt, thank you.
Kerr is supplying us a lot of information.
We'll have to reach out to them since they're local boys and see if they'll come onto our show on one of these.
Absolutely, I like to talk.
Oh, without a doubt. Like I said, reach out. You can reach out to me after the show. I'll give you Luigi. He's the owner.
Okay.
I can give you
Luigi,
his-
a paisan.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're hardcore. Yeah, it's
He's probably hanging out with Mario and Vito and playing some cards.
No, I definitely want to get one. That's really, it seems super thing to have. Yeah,
Fantastic idea.
because I mean, as you said, our humidors can read certain amounts of humidity, but it may not be accurate.
Yeah.
It may not, and then you never know. I was really shocked when I first started using it. Getting some cigars in from some of these big box retailers, you find this good deal on a box of cigars, and then you smoke it, and like there's something wrong. So when I first got this, I was checking some cigars from some of these retailers, and they're reading it 50%, 52%, and it's like, get out of here, you know.
Wow.
So I stick them in my humidor. If the cigar is in cello like this one, and it's reading like 50%, it'll be 6 months before this is smokable at a 60 above 65%. So
Well, don't you take them out?
You know what's that?
Out of the cellophane and let them cook.
You can. I don't take cigars out of cellophane. I've over the last 2 years, I've probably lost 100 cigars due to mold inside the humidor. I mean, when I've got a humidor, it keeps a couple thousand cigars in there. So you just have these spots in your humidor. It just seems like moisture will, congregate in one area, and then I'll get some mold. But I've never ever lost a cigar due to mold or with cellophane on it. So I just refuse to take it off now.
Okay, that's a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying to us, take them out of the cellophane.
Well, only if you plan to cellar it for a period of time. If you intend to smoke it rather quickly, you can leave it in the cellophane. But if you want to store a cigar for a year or 2 or 3, it's best to take it out. And of course, rotate, because otherwise you get the canoeing and the rest of the crap that happens, But that is interesting. That's pretty cool. I actually, it's funny because I was at the flea market on Sunday, and this guy had a gorgeous humidor. It held 500 cigars. It was a beautiful piece of furniture, but I passed on it, and I'll tell you why. Because I've learned through the years that glass doors don't work.
Yeah.
No.
And it had 2 glass doors on this, even though it was beautiful, a beautiful picture, nicely laid out, all Spanish cedar oak, not oak, I'm sorry, cedar. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word.
Right.
It was
beautiful.
beautiful.
Too many tonight, guys.
I've been drinking for a few hours now.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful, and the guy said, whatever you offer me, I'll take. And I was like, yeah, there was something about those doors. They weren't like so free moving. And I said, oh, I said, that's why you're selling it, ain't it? And he just looked at me and smiled. And he's like, yeah, I know.
By the way, Dr. Gabby says that you need to rotate and clean your humidor every month. Every month.
Well, I rotate my cigars every month, but I clean it? What am I cleaning it from?
Well, whatever, maybe tobacco leaves and stuff that's in there.
I don't have any
or
problems with that. Some crumbs I'll empty out, but I don't know about cleaning.
I don't know. So rotate
Doc,
the cigars.
tell me
not
what
the
it is I
furniture.
should clean. Because
I rotate mine once a month. I don't ever clean mine though. Mine doesn't get dirty. I guess it's But I'll never go back to a wooden humidor again in my life. It's always the stainless steel, like the Wynadors.
Yeah. Really?
And like I said, so I've got one here from this other company. It's about 3 feet tall. My other one is about 7 feet tall.
Wow.
I tell you what, 0 issues when I've gone to a plastic and stainless with the big door with the big refrigerator seal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay attention to it anymore. My last one's probably a $4,000 wooden humidor. It is gorgeous. I completely steampunked it out. We use it as a bookshelf now.
Yep.
But like I said, and that thing was just, it was almost weekly maintenance on it. It was always something going wrong. And it was just, I've come to find out, well, my opinion is that humidity seeps into that wood and then eventually dissipates into your house.
Right.
I would go through a half a gallon to 3/4 of a gallon of water a month. My new one with the stainless and the big double pane glass doors, I've had it for 3 months now. I bet I haven't gone through a half a gallon of water.
Well, Dr. Gabby said, because he answered the question.
Oh,
here
good.
it is.
Okay.
Thank
He
you,
said,
doctor.
Tobacco beetles love small pieces of tobacco dust. That's why you need to clean it. So we never knew that. So yeah, so that's what he's talking about.
Okay, that's
getting
interesting.
Tobacco beetles.
I did not know that, but Doc,
Thank you.
how do you get rid of that?
Well, and that's also a good selling point of keeping your cellophane on your cigars, because this is natural product. You can actually eat this. But the tobacco beetles,
Paper.
when they take a bite out of the cellophane, they die. So
Well, I only take the ones that I plan on keeping for let's say a couple of years. My top shelf that I want to actually keep on the side. Those I'll take out and let them rotate in the system. But most of them I smoke I smoke daily and a lot all day. I actually smoke. So I do keep it in my cellophane, and I take it apart as I ready to light up.
Well, this is interesting about talking about the
But,
beetles.
but this is interesting because I'd like to know a little bit more about that. Thank you, Dr. Gabby. And
That's why I love my Tupperware.
I've got 8 Tupper doors.
I've got a lot of
they work.
Tupperwares and they
They
work
good.
great.
They work great.
I still use wooden humidors.
Yeah.
I've had a few that have not worked at all. They were pure garbage.
Yeah.
But the ones that I'm using now are excellent. They do keep my cigars do maintain. I don't use water anymore. I used to use the distilled water, and I'm using the whatchamacallit, the poly.
I use
whatever,
the Bovida
chemical
packets.
is,
The Bovida?
Yeah, I use Bovidas.
And once a month, I just fill it up again, and they stay perfectly. Basically about 70, 72. So when I'm ready to smoke, I just take a cigar out, let it sit out for, take it out of cellophane, sit on the table for a half an hour, and I'm ready to smoke, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
No complaints. So these humidors that I got now are working very well.
That's good. Yeah, like you said, that there are so many. We've all had those ones that just don't work. You get these $20 or $30 humidors, and like, oh, this is great. Those are the
ones. Yeah, the $30 special. Yeah, $30 into the garbage, man.
Yeah.
They're worthless.
Frank, are you laughing because of Chooch? You just read that from Chris. Anyway. So talk about before we get to the whole beginning, because I'm really excited for you about becoming the world's champion band label, and you got there right behind you the special belt that you just got from Terry.
That's it.
Look at that belt, man!
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That is solid brass, solid leather.
Wow.
Really?
Abe spared no expense.
Holy
Abe
cow!
is the guy that Frank and Bob. We met Abe down at Smoking.
Okay.
That's it. He's friends with him and all.
Wow. Actually, I thought you were like a distant cousins to Billy Gibbons, but
Okay.
No, he likes the Macho Man.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the beard, man.
So tell us a little bit what's going on. You got so much happening. I see you a lot with Kern, and you were on with Barry early and all. And how do you get involved with all this?
Well, I years ago, so I'm sitting at my metal lathe. I have a little metalworking shop in my garage, and smoking a cigar. Like all of us, we're always setting it in dirty places, rolling around. So I'm come to the tail end of the piece I'm using. I think I have one here. There's one of my original ones. So I made a little cigar rest. that set my
Okay.
cigar on. So that's
Nice.
my original cigar prop. I made one. Some friends liked it. They're like, "Hey, can you make some more?" Made a few more. Jessica, convinced me to start a business. So started a business selling, that cigar rest, and then it blossomed into more different versions of the cigar rest. And at one point, I'm like, well, if I'm in the cigar business, I might as well do what everybody else does and do cigar reviews as well. So but put my little spin on it. I think even back when I started this like a few years ago, there really was nobody either that looked like me or talked like me either. Everybody doing these cigar reviews, kind of uppity a little bit, everybody fits this mold. I think I'm the first one that cussed regularly during a cigar review. And
No.
if the cigar sucked, I just tell you it sucked. I didn't,
But that's where you got to be honest.
yeah, I didn't beat around the bush, and it just if it
We
sucked,
do the same thing. I mean, honesty is where it's at with this, because why am I going to lie to you? Because it's not going to help anybody.
yeah, not
Or
helping
the guy
yeah.
who's making it, because really, what are you going to get out of it?
You want to help the guy who's making it and let him know what's going on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
you know,
it.
a lot
So
of people, you hate to hurt someone's feelings, but on the side say, hey, it's not up to par. And, maybe your friends are going to pat you on the back and say, great, 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 because they don't hurt your feelings.
Yeah, but that's not real. It's
Yeah.
not real. You got to be real about this,
that's it. So
And I want construction criticism. I mean, I
As a
welcome that
business
in
owner, I
anything
want to know the
do.
bad.
yeah,
Not good, but I want to know the bad to make it even better.
Of course.
exactly. So
And how long you've been smoking cigars?
I tell everybody, I've probably been what I would consider a professional cigar smoker for maybe about 7 years. Like a lot of guys, like my grandfather would smoke cigars and then not, you don't know anything about the cigars. You don't care about it. You don't care about anything else. You just smoke a cigar just to smoke a cigar, so I probably did that on and off for, I don't know, 8 to 10 years, but then when I really started my business, I really started to focus on the cigar, like what's it about, and that became that, got my journey going to where I'm at here, started doing cigar reviews. Doing that, you kind of have to know the cigar, know everything about the cigar manufacturers. And then, like all cigar reviewers, eventually manufacturers will reach out to you. Hey, can I send you some cigars to try? And I'm like, free cigars? Hell yeah. So, then at one point, I got asked to co-host the cigar show. So I did that for probably 6 months, and then, went and did my own show with Brad Reith over at Zeal Cigars. We did our own show for a little while, and we got so hectic, it was hard to get our schedules together. So then I started my own show, and that's what we've been doing since about November of last year. Been doing our show. We do one show on Sunday nights. That's how it started. But then we got so many manufacturers and people reaching out to us. We started to do, a random show during the week. Then we added a Tuesday night show at the beginning. So, and then we were still getting so many. So we ended up doing a third and a fourth show sometimes. And so now we're pretty buckled down to doing, 2 regularly scheduled shows per week, Sunday and Monday.
Oh, with the COVID, everybody was jumping on. There were shows coming out of everywhere.
It was, and it was and it sucks because it hurts your ratings a little bit, and it hurts your watches, when all these other shows, coming up, and then everybody's stepping on each other's toes. When I first started my show on Sunday, I didn't know all the shows that were out there. So, so I put it out there. I'm like, hey, I want to do my show, and I'm thinking about this time slot. Are there any other shows that are out there? Lee Mac 912 reached out to me, and he goes, hey man, like I said, my show is, we're wrapping up, so we're going to overlap by about 15 minutes or so. And I'm like, dude, I'll hold off. Don't worry about it. I don't want to step on your toes. And so, and then when we did the Monday night show, nobody was really doing Monday nights. And
that's what we did with the ash holes.
Yeah.
6:30 to 7:30. We used to be at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to step on Barry's toes. So, why are we going to compete? So that's why we came in right after Barry. So this way, everybody who wants to just continue listening, like you were just on Barry. So look, and it was weird that you ended up being on. I had no idea you were on Barry. And Barry texted me today. He goes, hey, Kevin's on our show before you. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's great. But I didn't know that. But it was good that it's respect. We respect them, and
Well, you have to. There's there's a certain camaraderie within the industry, and nobody wants to hurt the next guy. I mean, we're all in it to express our thoughts, our feelings about it, and good or bad, it doesn't matter. But you don't want to hurt a guy who's also doing the same thing.
Yeah, and you never know when you're going to need help. Like I said, if I had someone that wanted to do a show, up against me on a Sunday night, yeah, it's his prerogative. He can do a show whenever he wants. But if he ever reached out to me for help, I don't think so.
Exactly.
It's you're on your own at that point. So
did we tell you we're going 7 nights a week?
Yeah. It's
a headline on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Can we do Sunday night?
God, it's you guys know how hard it is doing one show a week.
It is hard.
It is, and at the beginning of the year, probably 2021, we're probably going to pull back to one night a week because it's a lot. Like I said, we've been doing 2 shows a week since last November. And it is a lot of work, a lot of prep, always finding your guest, everything else. And it's just, it's just
too. Yeah. Your guests and not repeating. You don't want to repeat, obviously. I mean, we've been doing this, what, a year and a half now?
2 years.
No,
2 years.
Yeah, it's been longer than that.
And there is a lot to it. There's no question about it.
And then all the editing.
The editing and
Kyle does the editing and Frank puts us on YouTube
and all the research, by the way, all
the research,
the stump the chooch. I mean,
and Frank's
got hours on trying to make us look like asses.
And Frank's got to do double research because then he's always got questions being answered when they're not supposed to. So there's even more research involved.
Dave's going to plan on doing a show too in 2021.
Dave
Wayne, Dave Clark. Nothing on Tuesdays and nothing on Sundays, nothing on Thursdays because you got to respect Kerr also.
Yeah.
How about Tuesday morning, Dave? That's what you got. You got Tuesday morning around 10 a.m.
Why
got the morning show?
Why does this feel like a moment?
That's the thing. Eventually, someone's going to step on somebody else's toes. There's just nothing, with all the shows out there, and there's room. There's room for plenty of shows. If someone else created a new show and and they weren't a friend of mine or I wouldn't expect them to change their schedule. But if it was a friend of mine or someone I knew, it'd be like, hey, not cool.
If it's a friend of ours, that's different. But somebody else, we can send a couple of people to talk to them.
No. Yeah. Barry, are you listening? Dave, Saturday afternoon is yours, buddy. You go for it. That Saturday's good for us.
Yeah.
Except for when we do a live show, then you can't do it.
Oh yeah, we do cigar events. Then usually it's Saturday afternoon. So
Saturday afternoon or evening. We've had a lot of evening.
It's kind of like that scene in The Jerk with Steve Martin. Like you can win a prize from anywhere from here, this shelf to this shelf, but between this area and this area, you can do that.
Probably hands down. I would say my favorite movie of all time. My favorite movie is The Jerk. I absolutely. The Lord loves a working man.
Get away from those oil cans! They're exploding! Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
We can start talking about blazing
You notice the glasses I have, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That was a hysterical movie.
They were.
Oh
excellent.
yeah.
So you got into Drew Estates and Acid. So how? Let's talk about the Drew Estates.
Yeah, Acid. I'm not.
He's big on Acid. Respect him.
Hey.
Acid, I have to step back.
Yeah,
a flavored cigar smoker.
Yeah.
He can't handle some flavor in his life.
Yeah.
Acid, I think back to the 60s.
Yeah.
That's my Acid.
Problem is you got to give respect to the #1 selling cigar in the world. So I mean,
that's it. When we were putting, we put a 450 square foot addition on the house, and then we were building a studio as part of that addition. So when I had put that out on Facebook, we started construction of the house. I was going to put a studio. we had quite a few people reach out to us. Drew Estate reached out. What can we do? What can we help out? So they got the naming rights of the studio. We had Rabbit Air reach out to us. Hey, we would like to be the official, air purifier of the studio. I remember just announcing that Drew Estate was the official sponsor of the studio, and people just come out of the woodwork. We got we hadn't even aired our first show yet, and we'd had several sponsors already. So just we've just been lucky enough to just people like what we do. Just Jessica and I are just we're just average people, and I think that resonates with a lot of people, a lot of manufacturers, and so yeah, it's been a wild ride. Drew Estate has been a fantastic partner with us. Same with Corona Cigars, Smoke Inn. So many great sponsors: Cigar Bundles of Miami, Cigar Medics, just one after another.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we've
really
just
great. We're below average, and we got nobody. So
No, we got somebody. Hey, we'll have more people. You know what? I actually did. I was so excited to get you on. We even blew our sponsor beginning. So
yeah.
We'll get that between the Chooch show there.
Yeah, we'll get them later.
Yeah, so it's been a wild ride. Drew Estate has been a great sponsor of ours. And then just everything they do is fantastic. Providing swag, providing just everything for our giveaways, and that's one thing we do. I think a little bit different than a lot of shows out there that just charge a monetary number for advertisers. With me, if you want to advertise with us, you've got to pony up on the swag. You've got to give us cigars. You've got to give us whatever material, because we give away each and every week, and that's really what we do. Is we just want to give back. I'm not the I Tap That Cigar Show is not a for-profit organization. Everything that we do, we give back. And it's just that's just what we do.
We do that too, but instead of swag, we do bourbon.
Yeah.
Oh, we just drink it. We don't give it away.
Yeah.
Nothing away as far as bourbon, but
we give pipes away for the most part.
We do. Yeah. We give a pipe away every week, for the
when Frank's feeling it
of our contest.
Yeah.
But it's all a good thing. There's no question about it. It's fun.
It is fun when you're able to give cool products away and just and have a good time and smoke cigars, and just it's just a time to connect with your followers, your viewers, answer questions, and just sit back. This really is just a virtual lounge that we're all in,
and we've met so many great people through this. I mean, people we've literally have hung out with and have become very close friends with and stuff. It's a wonderful club, if I can use that term.
Yeah.
It's more than a clique. It develops into a real friendship with people, and it's a wonderful thing. It really is.
It really is. And then you get those, just those friendships with just everybody in the cigar community, and then the makers, the manufacturers. I'll get a phone call every now and then, and I'll be like, hey, hello, and they'll be like, hey, this is so and so from whatever. I'm like, how'd you get my number? And it'll be like, Saka gave it to me. I'm like, but and then the first time even Steve sends me a text message. Hey, this is Steve Saka, call me. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck what did I do? What did I do to piss this guy off? And it just, it's just, you just never think that, you'll ever, get to converse. Cause this is the only industry, think about it. The only industry that I can think of to where you can, talk to that manufacturer. You can't call Nike and talk about how you like their shoes.
No, I'm not LeBron.
Know what I want.
Yeah, I know. You can't call some of these companies.
You're right.
Tervis Tumbler that makes this tumbler. You can't call some of these companies and talk with the owner or interact with them online. That's not a thing. You can join one of these virtual HERFs, Zooms, and there it is. There's Steve Saka. There's Matt Booth. There's Terrence Riley. Just these guys that that'll just answer any questions, just hang out and chill and have a good time.
Yeah,
you're absolutely on target with that one. I mean, that's how we met Kerr.
We
have spoken to people who are pretty big in the industry, and I mean, it was like talking to your best friend.
Yeah.
Just a down to earth conversation, and there's nobody puts on any airs here. You know, I mean, we're all in it for one reason: the love of the leaf.
Yeah.
And that's it. And,
That's it. You know, like I said, Care. I've known him for a couple of years now. Become one of my closest friends. I drove 10 hours to go see him on his birthday for a surprise. You know, just drove up there just to say hi. You know, because he's just a friend. You know, yeah, I met Craig Vanderslice, Cigar Craig, for the first time probably about 4 years ago. I've known Craig for like 15 years. You know, we'd never met each other. You know, Jessica and I met him and his wife at a local lounge. The girls went shopping, did their thing. Craig and I sat down and we just started talking, and we were finishing up a conversation we had the night before. There's none of that awkwardness, you know, because we've known each other for 15 years,
right.
You know, we were just friends that hadn't met yet, you know.
So you're coming over Thursday night for dinner, right?
Yeah. Thursday night, I will be at a Smoke on the Water in Weston, Florida, for an event with Eric Espinoza.
All right, then Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
That's all right.
Very nice.
We'll change it to family night Wednesday night. You know, so.
No, right on.
So tell us a little bit about the band. How did that all come about, and how stiff was the competition for you?
The battle of the bands, the competition wasn't stiff at all, because
okay.
Yeah, well, I knew, you know, like, so when Abe had told me the people that were going to be in it, you know, so you had Brian Glenn, Cigar Obsession, you had Eric Guttermison from Cigar Dojo, you had Blind Man's Puff, Developing Palates, Cigar Coop, and me. So I was thankful. I'm like, well, okay, as long as Cigar Coop's in it, at least I know I won't come in last. So
they are listening tonight.
Yeah. So and I tease. Coop knows I love them. So but those guys were, it was scary. I'll tell you that, because these are the biggest and the best guys in the cigar industry. These guys have been doing this forever. And here I am, you know, unless I had a good relationship with Abe, I go down there, we talk. Abe
Great
likes
guy.
me, you know, and so thankfully he added me, called me and asked me if I want to do it. And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to do it. You know, it's just, you know, like I said, I'm the only one that had anything to gain from this. All the other guys, they have their platforms, they have all these mass followings. They're not going to gain anything from this. They're not going to gain a new follower. They're not going to gain anything. Me, I had everything to gain. I had nothing to lose, but I had everything to gain. And just when I thought, you know, I was starting to think at the beginning, all right, I may have a chance at winning this, possibly. Of course, I talked to Steve Saka, and Steve Saka said, you can't win. And he told me that on the phone. He goes, listen, you're going up against Brian Glenn. You're going up against Eric at Cigar Dojo. He goes, you really can't win. So he helped me develop a game plan going into this. And he goes, if it helps, if you lose, I will publicly take credit for you losing. You know, so I'm like, all right. So it made it. And then,
sure.
You know, and then he sweetened the deal with me, and we had some prize giveaways, which helped out. And then I just have the best following. You know, I call the Cigar Prop Nation. I call us the land of misfit toys. You know, we just really don't fit in anywhere. You know, that's why I think people follow me, because they either look like me, they act like me, they think like me, and that's just not a place where some of these people fit in. And we're all just blue collar, regular guys, and they came out strong. You know, from the very second that the contest went live, we never relinquished first place one time. All the other positions moved up and down, but we held first place all the way to the end, you know, which was absolutely fantastic. I still can't believe sometimes that it's real. And, you know, I went up against the biggest and the best in the industry, and I came out on top. And
can we get a close up of that belt? Can you show our audience?
Yeah.
I can pull it down here.
And Kerr says to you, you can talk smack when you have the belt.
Yes.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
We can pull it up here.
Oh
Wow,
wow!
Is
Oh, nice.
That is awesome.
Battle
Very
of the
cool.
Bands,
Well,
and then it's
cool.
the on the side cigar
That is
prop
very cool.
What's this,
2020.
the first time they did this, right?
This is the first time they
You're
did
the
this.
first champion on top of that.
Wow.
That's it. The
Gloves the first.
the
How many ounce gloves are those that you're using?
yeah. So it was it was an honor to do it, but I'm a marketer, you know. I think I really was underestimated going into this.
Pure
And,
underdog.
The underdog. You're
You know,
Rocky, man. You're Rocky.
But I was also the only one out of the whole group that had a business. You know, yeah, I mean, like I'm not saying like Cigar Coop, that's a business. Cigar Dojo is a business. I sell a physical product. I have a website. I have to know how to market, you know, to people, you know, so that helped me out immensely. Plus all these relationships that I had with all these manufacturers when I started reaching out to them. Hey, I want to give some prizes away. I don't beg. I don't ever ask for anything. Steve and I talk all the time from Dunbarton. I've never once asked him for anything. Occasionally he'll send me some cigars. So when I reached out to him and, you know, when we devised this plan, I'm like, hey, can you help me out? You know, maybe with some swag or something. He's like, yeah, you know, same with all these manufacturers. You know, I'm just not one of these guys that are always asking.
Oh, that's cool.
You know,
That's
so
very cool.
So
Well, your reputation is
we
there.
contacted Rolex when we asked them for a watch to give away, but we haven't heard from them.
yeah.
I'm still waiting.
Michael Baker says, I'm glad to be part of Prop Nation and the Misfits, even if Kevin calls us minions.
Oh,
There you go, Michael. I said it.
We're not stepping into that one.
Abe Dababna called them minions. So at the beginning, you know, we have our followers. So he's like, you know, the rules were you have to get your minions to purchase your pack. So he's the one that put minions out there. So I created a little dog tag that says
All right.
minion.
So he knows where he stands.
All right, now you know the truth.
So it was just super fun. It was a great contest. I had a blast. It was a lot of work. You know, it was I mean, the first 2 weeks of the contest, I you know, it was really on me to focus on those 2 weeks, get a giant lead, and then it would have been easier to maintain that lead. So I took a 2-week vacation off my work, off my job, and I pounded the pavement every single day.
Wow.
You know, twice a day, 3 times a day, making videos. And Abe had said it, you know, on the live reveal, you know, that he really thought that, you know, the contest would go live. Each person would make like one video, one post, and then it would just be out there. And then it would just do its thing. I go, well, it may have been that case if you didn't have me. I'm a promotions guy. I just know how to, you know, get people riled up, get people fired up. They get excited, you know, about an event or a contest. You know, they just feel like they're attached to it, and they'll support you.
We do that too when we hand out 50s, right?
Yeah, 50. People trying to find themselves owed to us looking for handouts.
They line up. They line up for that, you know?
I bet they do.
It's all good. So where do you plan on taking this whole thing with the cigar prop, and what's in it for the future for you?
We never know, you know. Eventually, even like the name, the cigar prop, even our original little cigar rest I showed you, I mean, we don't even manufacture cigar holders really anymore. We have a few of them. Cigar prop has really turned into just a way of life, a philosophy, just a brand in itself. So eventually we'll probably end up getting out of the manufacturing business at one point and just really focus on the social media side of it. The show, the reviews, everything else, and just really concentrate on that. So I could see us eventually, maybe in the next 2 years, you know, just doing virtual stuff, you know, online stuff, because it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're dealing with manufacturers and products and packaging and shipping and all of that, it's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
proposition now. It's the
Yeah.
proposition. You know,
Yep.
more props.
Yeah, that's it. So so you never know. You know, it's so we take it day by day, and you never know where any of this is going to go. So we just keep doing what we do, and you know, hopefully people keep following us, keep liking what we do, and you know, people like Drew Estate keep supporting us with not only their platform, their checkbook, which always
That helps.
That's a big to do. Yeah.
you know.
How about Jessica? How did she get all? I mean, I saw her smoking herself. She got a good palate. She enjoys to smoke too.
She's like your I would say your typical woman. She has a better palate than most guys. She's got an amazing palate. She picks out, you know, she's not like a lot of these reviewers that get 8, 10, 12, 15 different things, but she can pick out a flavor. She can pick out a note. She knows what she likes. She knows what she doesn't like. And she likes heavy cigars, heavy, full body, full flavored,
Nice.
high nicotine, ass kicking cigars.
Oh.
And she smoked one last week, and it was the first time in 3 years I saw her sweat. And she
Oh wow!
and that was the new which will be coming out is the Aladino Cremoso. It is a Connecticut that will knock you on your ass.
A Connecticut.
A Connecticut, and I think it's got a Corojo binder if I'm not mistaken. But she came in sweating. I only made it halfway through the cigar, and I had to put it down. I couldn't finish it. It packs a punch.
We just had one of those.
I like a strong cigar. The stronger, the better. But I think I've only had 2 cigars in my life that have affected me in I would have to say, a bad way. The nicotine was over the top, and it actually made me nauseous and gave me the shakes and stuff.
Yeah.
That to me is not enjoyable. You know.
We just had one of those 2 weeks ago, Bob.
I had one 2 weeks ago.
It was
last year.
Yeah, we.
I'm not going to mention.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to go to names.
No, but
Okay.
like I said, I like strong. The stronger, the better. But this was a little too much. I didn't seek any pleasure in it. You know, I don't want to be sick.
I couldn't drive home for 4 hours after that one.
Yeah,
I smoked the same stick, and it didn't put me out. I had to
wait a second. Hold on.
Stop.
You had to stop. You had to stop and have something to eat and be clean and rest a little bit.
If you got a heavy stick like that, you got to eat.
Yeah.
I had to smoke, and I smoked it down to a nub. It was really delicious, I thought.
It was delicious. I love the taste,
You know,
but it was a little bit too.
you know, I'm gonna say you're a leggero.
Oh,
He's getting at you.
Whoa.
Calling Bob a lightweight now.
Whoa.
You know,
Ding, ding.
And I tell everybody, you got to listen to your body. You know, like I said, I know, you know, even from the first couple puffs, you know, for me, the nicotine irritates the back of my throat a little bit. So I just know to back off, slow down a little bit, and then just take it easy. And then if you feel it creeping up in your head, you know, put it down. There's no reason you got to finish a cigar or get a piece of chocolate, get a little bit of sugar, and just really know, because that nicotine is very subjective. Like right now, I'm smoking the Drew Estate Undercrown Dojo Dogma. And if anybody from Drew Estate's listening, this is my very last one. But I've seen.
I thought you weren't asking.
I've seen 2 reviewers throw up after smoking this cigar.
Wow.
Really?
Because it was so strong. I can smoke this cigar for breakfast, you know, so that nicotine and that power, it is so subjective on what it can do to people. So
yeah,
and your body acts differently according to what day it is. I mean, nicotine never bothered me. I used to be shamefully have to say 2 packs a day cigarette smoker when I was young.
Prehistoric era.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it was the Jurassic era.
It's when Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble days.
You know, when I gave cigarettes up, I just smoke cigars and pipes all day long. And like I said, nicotine never bothered me, but there's only 2 cigars that ever affected me to the point where it was uncomfortable. It was too much. It was just it made me shake. It was like, this is just not good.
What's the first one? No, because that one you always talked about. That one. They don't even make that anymore.
I hate to say the name of it. It's still sold.
Still around? Okay,
yeah.
All right.
And I'm sure that people buy it because it's still being sold, but I find it hard to understand how anyone can enjoy that kind of a punch. And I smoke on a full stomach, and not even on an empty stomach, and it's too much. It's just too much. I don't see the pleasure in that.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I never smoke on an empty stomach. I love smoking and eating at the same time.
Oh, me too. I used to smoke cigarettes and eat at the same time.
Yeah, you know, so I don't find any issue with that. But yeah, there's like I said, it's just different. And I think sometimes, and maybe over the last year, I don't know if you guys have find it. It's kind of like with hot sauce makers. You know, they just, you know, you'll have a line of sauces that are good, but then they always try to go overboard. Like, let me see if I can get somebody to have a sore on their tongue from consuming my hot sauce. But there are some manufacturers that just try to go out of their way.
Like Dave's Insanity Sauce.
Yeah,
the name is perfect. It's insanity. You can't eat that stuff.
Well, there's even a restaurant right down the street from me that they do a hot wing challenge. Now, when it started 10 years ago when I moved to this town, it was a very weak sauce. But every time somebody beats it, they up it. So once it gets beaten, they add to it. And so to the point now where it's at now, I don't think anyone's beaten it in 2 years. And it's like, and you see people try it, and it's just pure, just crying and everything, and they make you sign waivers, and they make you wear gloves and tell you not to touch your face because it'll burn the steak.
My son bought me some hot sauce because he knew I like hot sauce, and he had to sign a waiver.
Yeah.
Okay. Stuff came in a glass bottle with an eyedropper.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, okay, this is really cool. So I put it in the cabinet, and I said, well, I'll get to it. I had like, I don't know, 15, 20 hot sauces at the time. And by the time I decided to try it, the eyedropper, which is a rubber, eyedropper, it melted from the fumes in this thing. It melted into the bottle. Obviously, I wasn't going to
try it
at that point. And I said, well, there's a reason you sign a waiver for this. I mean, come on. This is preparation H in a bottle.
No, that ain't preparation H. That's preparation.
The tattoo shop I go to, every now and then they'll have it's some kind of food challenge, and a couple of times, going back a couple of years, they found the hottest hot sauce in the world. At that time, it was Blair's Death Wish, and the same thing with an eyedropper. Everybody does one drop, and then it kills you. And if everybody does one, they're like, okay, who's going to do a second round? So on that
and
one,
that's like 50 gallons of chili, no less.
And that was just a straight eyedropper on your tongue. So I ended up going and I did 3 drops.
Really?
And then I threw up uncontrollably.
I bet you did.
Oh my God, no.
It's just guys, we're dumb. We'll do anything, but it's just I'm getting too old for that shit.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets to a point where you say, it ain't worth it anymore,
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. So anyway, what else is happening on your end as far as have you thought about putting out your own personal cigar line yourself?
If COVID-19 hadn't hit, you would have seen me in Nicaragua already, and there's a chance you may see me in Nicaragua before the year is out. Now I will never put out my own cigar. That's not what I want to do.
Okay.
I've got some good ideas for some cigars, so I've got some manufacturers that I'm working with. I would like to, and not even blend. I'm not even a good blender, but there are just some things out there that have never been, and it's hard to believe that there are some things out there that have never been done. There are things out there that have never been done in the cigar world.
What?
And I've reached out to a couple manufacturers, and one manufacturer I reached out to, and I'm like, hey, why has this never been done? And they go, because it can't be. It just can't be done that way. And I'm like, well, why? And he goes, well, I don't know. Nobody's ever done it, and it just so I on that idea, I just let it rest. And it was like a month later, he reached back out to me and he goes, all right, so it took the rollers a week. They figured out that it can be done.
Wow.
So it can be done. So there's some other ideas. I've reached out to Saka, like brain picking with him, and he's like, well, no, it can't be done. It won't work, and I'm like, well, I think it will, and he, he's not the guy, he only blends for him. So I like picking his brain on certain things. So I've got a friend of mine that rolls cigars. So he's got some coming my way. And even he said, he goes, it's not going to work. And I go, I don't know, we'll find out. So just roll me some different ones and we'll see. And he was intrigued by it because nobody had ever done it before, so I have some ideas. So I would like to work with some manufacturers. And after you get to know a bunch of manufacturers, you kind of know not what they're capable of, but what they get excited about. So and then I've had two manufacturers that reach out to Jessica and I that I'm like, hey, we want to do something with you guys. And then I remember the one, I'm talking to him on the phone. I go, well, what do you want to do? And he goes, well, I don't know, whatever you want to do. But we just want to be on board. Whatever you want to do is fine with us. So I would just like to have my name attached to something, like a whatever, a Fuente Opus X blended by Kevin,
Okay. Nice.
Whatever, that would be, just cool to have my name attached to something.
So you said Nicaraguan. What do you think? Is that your favorite tobaccos? Because Honduras puts out another good smoke.
Honduras puts out fantastic. I've just never had anybody from Honduras reach out to me that wants to do something.
Dr. Gabby, calling Dr. Gabby.
Wait a minute. We're not passing our connection.
I talk with Dr. Cavi on occasion. We were gracious enough to, or he was gracious enough to invite Jessica and I over for dinner. So we had dinner with him and his family.
Fabulous.
One night.
Unbelievable couple.
He's just an absolutely
great people, man.
You know, you can't even say salt of the earth because that doesn't even describe.
There is no word I can describe about
their
that
family. They are family. I mean, when we were there, we really
He just took it as like brothers, like long lost family. They
had dinner with his family. I mean, it was
great kids,
wonderful day. I can't say enough about the man. I really think he is just salt of the earth. He really is.
That's
He's
a good way of saying it.
Wonderful person, and I'm just glad I know him. I really,
and he makes some fantastic cigars.
Oh God,
and that's always a plus. When they're nice and they make good cigars
and coffee too.
So,
absolutely.
We have not had one bad one.
Never.
At all. And
never.
We did a marathon, Bob and I, once. We went 9 for 9, and then we went down him, and we got the Duke, we got the cigarillos,
stuff that wasn't even around anymore.
Before that. I mean, it's like 15 out of 15.
Everything he puts his hands on is just superb.
Even with Kerr's Encarnacion.
I'm
smoking, which I absolutely love.
He's got Kerr's got the Big Tony coming out. He gave me one of his the samples of the Big Tony.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God! It's a Maduro barber pole, so it's black on black.
Yeah,
really?
And it is absolutely amazing.
Kerr,
all right.
Hello, Kerr, calling Kerr.
Frank, you got to go down there. It's only 5 hours from you.
We haven't even heard about this, buddy.
So the Big Tony was just, it was so good.
Really?
It was so smooth. And it was just a great cigar. It's scary looking though, because it's a barber pole, black on black.
Really?
It's a scary looking cigar, but man, it is just so smooth, full bodied, not super high nicotine. and it's an absolutely fantastic cigar.
Have that with his coffee, which I
Mhm.
think is spectacular.
Doc's coffee.
Absolutely
Yeah.
Yep.
spectacular. Have you had that, Kevin?
I have not. I am not I drink cold brew coffee. I've never actually had a hot coffee.
Well,
So
it's cold. I mean,
yeah.
if it's fantastic hot, it's got to be just as good cold.
Yeah, so eventually I'll try that, and it's just everything that man touches is just gold.
It's gold.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, he's a gold guy, and when he kicks back to the island, to say, or the country and the workers, I mean, when you treat your workers with high class and respect, they're going to go all out.
Well,
And
these
they
are the people that are the cream of the crop. These are the important people in the industry.
Yeah, the people you got to take care of. The people that are bunching, rolling, produce. The person that's putting the band on. I mean, you guys know, you get someone that's in a bad mood that puts a band on with too much glue or something else, that can wreck your day.
Yeah.
There's nothing more irritating than taking off a band and then tearing the wrapper of the cigar.
Oh, I hate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or not being able to pull the band off in one piece. I remember sitting down at Rocky Patel's Burn down in Naples, hanging out with Nish Patel and Bradley Rubin, Malik Bradley Cigars, and I was smoking a Filthy Hooligan, and I'm trying to pull the band off, and I just shred the band. It was on these paper bands, and I'm doing this in front of Bradley, and he looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, I hate that band. That was like the worst mistake I ever did." I go, "Because you can't get it off in one piece. It's such a beautiful band, and I've never been able to save one." So the bands are always, it's one of those weird things. I've called Drew Estate out a couple of times. People that put the bands on, or they'll put the paper or some foil, and they'll put it under the band. So you got to pull the band off to smoke the cigar. I'm like, well, now how am I going to take a picture? We can't smoke a cigar without a picture. It's impossible. You just can't do that.
Exactly.
So,
But
yeah.
I save a lot of the bands. Most obviously the cigars that I like, and I kind of have like a little, I don't want to say
Montage.
yeah, I have. Well,
I got bands all over on my table. I got bands in drawers.
This is
I like to take them
there
off.
you go.
this is a trash can. This is like 2 months of cigars for me and Jessica.
Right? You remember this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I got bands all stuffed in there.
But I know
It's
what you're
delayed.
saying. When they don't come off, it sucks. I like to take them off in one piece, flatten them out, and keep them.
Yeah, it's like you gotta take a picture, put it on Instagram,
Yeah.
do your thing, and then so the band.
They were I'm pointing this painting. That's made of bands.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. All
How
bands.
cool is that?
Yeah. Right. That's the one.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
the one?
Don't try to take it off the wall; it'll all fall.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a
That is a load bearing picture right there. That is load bearing.
Yeah. I got another sign put on top of it. Yeah, bands are cool, but it's amazing how people are attracted to a band too.
Yes, because there's some really beautiful bands, and I
some
say
really
it
good
in
artwork.
more of an artistic way.
Mhm.
They're works of art.
Yeah.
Some of them are spectacular.
Yeah, you look at a band from a La Serena. It is a beautiful band. You look at what Steve Saka did with the he won an international award for the original Sober Mesa band. That wasn't in the cigar industry. That was in like a graphic design
Really?
award.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. It elevates itself into a more of artistic.
Yeah, I mean, because you guys know
a commercial piece,
when you're in a lounge and you see a beautiful cigar band, you pick it up, you look at it. Most of the time, if it's in your hand, you're not putting it back. I said, I would say 9 times out of 10, you're going to keep that band, and then you're going to, buy that cigar. So then, you've got some bands that are plain, ordinary. Like Pete Johnson is not known for his bands. They're very Cubanesque bands. They wants a cigar to speak for
like
itself.
A Monty has a nothing band.
A nothing band. The cigar should pick for itself. But you put a Monty next to a La Serena, it's like, oh, let me just have this beautiful gold band, and I want that. I want that cigar.
Yeah, we're actually also pipe smokers, and we're part of the Chicago Pipe Show, club show. And I remember last year there was a person, one of the vendors, who had a book, uh, like a photo album book,
Yeah.
and it was all cigar bands, and the man had collected them for the last 60, 70 years. And I just kind of picked it up, and I was just looking through it, and I'm saying, my God, there is so much artwork in some of the older bands that you don't even see today. That okay, some of the people are kind of replicating that old world feel, but some of them were just spectacular. And I said, wow, this was it was art. It was art. There's no other way of saying it. And it was a beautiful booklet. I was almost tempted to buy it, but it was a little beyond my means.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I remember touring the J.C. Newman factory. I got a behind the scenes tour. I got to film about 2 weeks before they closed, and we were in like a storage part of the warehouse where nobody goes, and bands. I mean, stacks of bands that were 60, 70, 80 years old. They don't ever throw anything away. And they're just these beautiful bands, and I'm like, hey, can I have one of those? They're like, no, like they don't get rid of anything. And I'm like, you have 100,000 bands that you're never going to use again. They're like, yeah, no, we don't give anything. They don't throw anything.
Yeah,
well, here's a new information for
that's
you.
like going to the Museum of Art, and can I have that painting? Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Well, Dr. Gabby just wrote to us that a lot of cigar bands and boxes on the market today are replicas of old bands no longer in production. Very few truly original bands today. It is.
There you go.
Wow.
Thanks, Doc.
That's what I was saying. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, because you look at it, there's only so much so much you can do with a band, so much you can do with a box. They've been making cigars, really and putting them in boxes since about 1900, 1903 or so. So in that time, everything's been done. So it's
no. That's like saying that's like saying, well, I have a piece of canvas, and what new?
Yeah, you're right.
I produce.
Like even Kerr's doing some interesting things with the cedar wrap and writing across it on the length of the cigar. So that's a little different.
Yeah.
So that's nice to see.
Absolutely.
And hey, it's more real estate to advertise on, right? Why just limit yourself to a small band around the top of a cigar where you can actually be expressive and try something different on the body of the cigar?
And even the boxes themselves are not just plain old, cedar boxes anymore. Now we're getting into beautiful graphics on the lids, and people are taking the next step into it.
Yeah, because you try
commercially, being like pop art, but it's artistic.
Yeah, and you got to tell a story. When you're walking, you guys, when you're walking through a humidor, when you're either your local humidor or you're out on travels, you have a split second. You have 2 seconds to get somebody's attention and get them to that box. And then Kerr has a fantastic box. And you look at it, and hopefully you got a good tobacconist. Like, hey, what's up with this box? Who is this guy sitting on this car? And as long as that tobacconist is good, it's like, oh, that's Kerr's grandfather sitting on, or Kerr's father, or great grandfather, or that's Padron Senior, who's no longer with, that was his childhood home, whatever it is. So you connect a little bit if you can tell that story just in that split second. And even if you don't tell that story, I don't know, I have a wild imagination, so I try and figure out a story. I'll put a story with something, so you get that split second to catch someone's attention. So the boxes have to be.
I have a little bit of artistic in me, and I look at some of these as works of art. Kerr's box absolutely is a work of art to me. And actually, I have it on my wall. I display it as a painting.
Yeah.
I think it's rich. It tells me something.
Really is.
It does. But you're right. Without saying a
You say,
word,
Kurt, you're sending those cigars to me next week.
Well, yeah, but you're right. Without saying a word, that box told you something.
It did.
And
Immediately, it just brought me right in. It brought me right in. You're right. There's a certain connection you make right away. And like I said, Monty's speak for themselves. They're a great cigar. When you look at the overall, their advertising,
yeah,
it says nothing. You look at well, what the hell is this cigar about? Until you try it and say, oh, it doesn't have to advertise.
well, that's it. That's what Pete Johnson went on his Monster series. You look at that
too.
box. The Frank, the Kruger, the Jason.
Yeah.
You look at that box, and then you're connected. I know everybody has their favorite monster, so they wait till that comes out. And he's like, "Oh, I was a Freddy Krueger fan growing up. I got to have that Freddy." And
Kyle,
Boris Karloff, the monster.
yeah, the new Karloff. It's a
everyone's saying it. Even Chris Monaco from Amendola, he's saying packaging.
It's important. It's important. Sometimes, and I hate to say this, you could have a so-so cigar, but if you got the right wrapper, you got that right attraction, the marketing, the advertising, people will buy it. It's just a thing. You're drawn to it, like anything in life. You're either going to buy an Impala, you're going to buy a Cadillac. Hey, look, the Cadillac is standing out by itself.
The one thing about marketing is, you can lure somebody in, but if the product doesn't deliver, guess what? That's a one-time buyer.
It's a one-time buyer, yeah.
And that doesn't do anybody any good.
No.
It doesn't at all. And you look at Camacho boxes. Does anybody do boxes better than Camacho? Those beautiful lacquered boxes. They're just stunning boxes, all of them. When they do like the military themed ones, one had a dog tag on the front. I think I got the dog tag hanging up here somewhere. They're beautiful boxes, and that's what.
Well, a lot of companies do it. I mean, Perdomo's another one with the black lacquer boxes and the gold writing. I mean, these they just scream at you. You can't walk past it. You gotta look at it. And buy that cigar.
And those boxes are free future advertisement, because nobody takes a beautiful Perdomo box, a beautiful Opus X box, the Viajante Stogie Road box, the Edición 35. You don't throw that box away.
No.
You put it in your office. You put it in your man cave. Then that cigar is always, or that box is always there. So one day you may be looking at that box and like, oh, hey, I'm out of Edición 35s, because you're looking at that box because you didn't throw it away, because it's a beautiful artwork.
And then if you've got a quality cigar to go with it.
I don't throw boxes away. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Caffey, the history, the story, his grandparents. I mean, that's a story.
That box right there makes you want to ask questions. You're like, who are these people? What is the story of that box? So it makes you want to not only buy that box, but it makes you want to seek out that that manufacturer on your phone.
And of course, if you know the person, that's even more spectacular. Yeah. Luciano's.
This is the
Ace Prime.
Yeah.
This Kerr's other Sweet Grass. I mean, it's a great one out of the white. And this is another friend of ours, very good friend. Luciano, the Traveler. I mean, these are boxes.
They
say something.
They do.
They say something about the person, the quality, the history of the leaf that they're producing.
Yeah, but like you said, that the artwork will get you to buy, but then you better make, because how many times have you guys, and I've done it, you've seen a cool box or a cigar that's got something catchy on it, kitschy actually.
Yeah.
And then you buy it and you're like, oh, that's what I paid for, all the nonsense.
The advertising.
Because it did not go into the cigar.
That's
So
what
now-
goes back to what Frank said. That's a one-time deal.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it again.
Yeah,
You know?
and there are a few cigar makers out there, and that's what they do. You know, that they'll make a run, and it's something kitschy. People will collect it. It goes out, and then a year later, 6 months later, they'll come out with something else cool, and like, oh, I gotta have that now. And even though the cigars are like, they're okay. It just you
This makes you think a little bit more about it and all.
Yeah.
It's an interesting industry.
Yep. You are a marketing man, so you definitely understand all of this, Kevin. So,
Oh, I definitely do. I can look at something a lot of times and like, all right, that's kind of bullshit. That's kind of, but it's like, but even me, like knowing it, I'm like, but I got to buy that cigar anyways because there's something cool on the cigar.
it is.
My cigar has got a spectacular band. It's coming out tomorrow. But the cigar itself
Is that the label Indagata Davida written on that?
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway, Kevin. Hey, listen, I know we kept you longer than expected, and I really appreciate
what
your
time
time.
is it? Oh, it's 10:30 your time, huh?
The 10 till 10.
10 out of 10. So, again, we want to thank you for coming on board, and we definitely would love to have you back because I know there's just so much more that you can bring to the table for us.
Yeah, really. So Sunday night, our show will be.
Anytime, guys. I said I'll come back anytime that you want. If you need a last minute guest. If it's a last minute guest and you need somebody, give me a shout
I'm going on vacation, so he could probably use a side guy. So
But I'd like to, extend if you want to stick around for our next segment.
Yeah.
The segment's called Stump the Chooch. And
Okay.
Chooch in Italian means basically jackass. And so Frank will be asking us 3 questions to try to stump us and make us look like fools in front of our audience.
All right.
And then the 4th question will be for the
pipe. Audience, and we give away a pipe every week.
You want to talk about it, Bob?
Yeah, we could talk about it. This is from one of our sponsors, RNA Treasures from Florida, good state of Florida. This is it's a smaller size billiard, very thick briar walls, Rhodesian, with a fishtail bit on it. Very nice, very light, a quick smoke if you're want to smoke during lunchtime. It's probably a quick smoke, half hour bowl.
Better than a cigarette.
Yeah,
always better than a cigarette. But anyway, here is the pipe. We're going to give this away to our listeners when they get the answer right.
But before we get
if. But he's gonna quiz us in the beginning, so we're gonna look like idiots.
But before
he loves doing that. He loves
now. Can I get in on that? So whoever wins that pipe, can I send that person a prize pack as well?
Oh
well, yeah. Okay, I'm in on it. I'll answer the question.
So whoever wins that pipe, I'll throw in some swag.
Absolutely. Right. Well, we also like to say this is going out to our military people
overseas.
These are the people who are risking their lives for us. Unfortunately, where they're fighting, they can't get tobacco products. So we are sending a care package out to them through someone who is they run Briar Nation, which is
Jerry Feliciano, Briar Nation cigar pipes. He's out in the Middle East.
He's out in the Middle East. We can't reveal where he is because that is a top secret right now. But anyway, these are for the people who are fighting for us and risking their lives. We send them a care package, and a lot of people who have won the pipes and tobacco and so forth have donated it towards the cause. That's always, a choice. But anyway, these are things that we are asking people if they're not involved with the contest, obviously. If they would like to donate a pipe, tobacco, we don't care what it is. It could be pipe cleaners, matches even. whatever they would like to donate for our
men and women,
men and women,
red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
We got, and we're running only to the end of this month,
and
so
then
we
we're
only
gonna
got a
ship them
couple of
out.
weeks, and we'll send them over to Jeremy, who will distribute it among the troops. And again, they don't get it, like Bob said, and it's something we've been starting and doing, and it's any kind of paraphernalia that we can get to them.
If you're a patriot,
just let us know.
Let us know,
the last
man.
6 people have donated the pipes. Scott Muller, I know he's not on. I've been waiting to have him there. This guy sent me a care package with 5 different pipes, 10 different tobaccos. Scott, if you are listening, you haven't joined in, thank you.
Thank you for those 6 bottles of Cristal. We enjoy it.
But we only got a couple of weeks left, folks.
Yes.
So again, reach out to us, PM us. I'll give you my address, and we will send it. If you want to put a note in
Anything
for the
you
troops,
want. This is for the
saying
troops,
anything,
guys.
this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
This is for them.
All right.
But anyway, okay,
So
Frank,
Frank, stump us.
take it away, man. Make us look like fools like we usually do.
Well, that's easy. So I'm kind of like the history buff here. My cousins are basically not. Kyle,
No, we're not.
he's too young. He really doesn't have a history. So
Oh, jeez.
Kyle.
Oh,
Holy
Kyle.
cow.
Kyle, forget about it. He's still watching SpongeBob, I think.
Oh.
How young do you think I am? Jesus.
It's
everybody-
a chooch.
you can, if you have an answer, you can answer, Kevin. So you don't have to
Okay.
look for these clowns because you'll probably be waiting a long time anyway. So you can just answer and just get it right so that they can look as
stupid as we usually do.
Okay.
basically.
David Clark is doing his show on Saturday, and he's donating 3 boxes of cigars to the Cigar Warriors.
Thank you, Dave.
Dave,
Thank
that's
you
awesome,
very
man.
much,
Thanks
buddy.
for doing that to the Cigar Warriors.
Wonderful.
All right, go for it, Frank. Stump
Nice.
us, asses.
All
Jack,
right.
you
On
shoot.
this day in history, back in 1921, Ronnie, 1921.
21.
Okay.
Yes, this baseball team was defeated in the World Series. Who was defeated in the World Series in 1921?
The Mets.
The Yankees.
Cubs.
The Yankees. He's right. The Yankees. You knew I had to throw in a Yankee defeat. I love
Yeah, I know, because you jealous minor leaguer fan that you are.
Ah.
You'll never become a Yankee.
Oh,
All
man.
right. I knew you would get that one, so I threw it in.
All right.
All right.
And by the way, Evan loves the SpongeBob relationship.
Oh, God, you got burned.
You know, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I got a SpongeBob tattoo.
Nice.
Oh.
Where?
Well, you don't have to bend over. We need to see it.
Actually, I have plankton tattooed on my shoulder.
Oh,
Nice.
God. All right. Well, plankton's cool. I mean, you know where you really should have started planking down below and have the other piece
Yeah.
sticking out for his nose.
Down below. How far down? Maybe a Patty Page.
All right, next.
Go ahead, buddy.
All
Go.
right, here you go. We'll keep going on this one. All right. On this date in 1960, these 2 presidents debated. Well, they were running for office, and they debated
I know
on this date in 1960. But what's interesting is they weren't in the same place when they debated. Who were the presidents debating, and why were they
Nixon
not?
and
Kennedy and Nixon.
Kennedy and Nixon.
Kennedy and Nixon, and they were totally in different places.
Yeah,
Yes, they were.
yeah.
Hey, it can be done. Just saying. Things can be
Never again. That will never be done again.
All right. Next one. Oh, this is another good one. Maybe Ronnie will get this one. It's possible, but I'm not gonna.
Hey, we're 2 for 2.
So it's only like 3 weeks in
I don't
history?
know. I think I better make it a little tougher. On this date in history, this singer-songwriter was born in Newark, New Jersey in 1941. Singer-songwriter was born in Newark, New Jersey, 1941 on this date.
It can't be Frankie Valli.
His first name, I'll give you his first name. And then it's a giveaway. Paul.
Paul
Paul.
Revere?
Paul.
1941. Can't be
Oh
Paul.
my God,
Can't
Bob.
be Paul
You should be
Schaefer.
ashamed of yourself, Bob.
Paul Schaefer.
Paul Schaefer was not a singer, songwriter, musician. What are you, out of your bird?
Paul.
Okay. Maybe I'll give you a name of a hit, and you might get this.
Paul Simon.
There we go. Paul
Hey,
Simon.
there you
There we
Paul
go.
Simon was born in Newark.
Newark, New Jersey. There you
Wow,
go.
he's from Forest Hills, New York.
Nope.
Queens.
Nope, he was born in Newark.
But then they took him right out of the hospital and went to Forest Hills. where he met Garfunkel.
In the same school that he went to.
Wow.
That was the very first CD or actually it was a cassette that I ever bought. Bridge Over Troubled Waters.
Whoa, okay.
Simon and Garfunkel.
But he lived in Forest Hills then.
Newark, New Jersey.
I can't
Did not
believe he
know
was
that.
born in Newark. I didn't know that, man. Okay, all right.
All right, so those are the three for us chooches, and we went 2 out of 3. Not bad.
Not bad.
The next one is for you, audience. That's for the pipe.
That's for
We
this
will
part.
shut up, and you guys get to answer. Kyle and I are on Facebook. I know we had Chris answer, Dave answer, Michael answer, Bruce answered, Barry answered, Evan. Now, you guys, this is for the pipe.
This is for the pipe, guys.
We'll shut up. Kevin, if you want to answer, you can too.
Ronnie, shut up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All
Okay,
right,
take it away.
All right. This was back on October 13, 2006. Ronnie's going to answer already. Hey, Kyle.
These guys.
use them both.
My
Kyle
God.
is SpongeBob, SquarePants.
Hold on. They can't talk now. It's gone quiet.
This is when me and Kyle take over the show.
So we can talk now without them talking over us.
All right. Okay. On this date, 2005, what company introduces the first device capable of playing video at a resolution of 320 by 240? And it sold for $299. What's the company that created this device? It's a one-parter. If I give you the device, you'll know the company.
Yeah.
There's a hint, folks. There's a hint.
All right.
I think this is an easy one, but I'll give it to the audience.
Exactly. 2005.
David Clark is just laughing his ass off.
Oh,
That's
my
not
God.
an answer, Dave.
It's 2005.
Play that music. Play that music,
Oh,
white boy.
Bruce said Apple iPod.
There we go. Bruce is correct.
There it
The
is.
Apple iPod.
Bruce.
Bruce is the winner.
We have no last name or no way to
No, we got it.
contact him.
Bruce
So
Stark.
I'm sorry.
Bruce Stark is the winner.
Oh man,
So-
Bruce
so-
got it. Bruce
When you get Bruce's address, give it to me. I'm gonna send Bruce a prize pack out from us to prop as
So
well.
Bruce gets
Awesome.
this, the stem from the pipe.
Bruce, PM me the info, buddy.
There you go,
We'll get
buddy.
that
You
to
got this
Bruce
pipe.
says donate the pipe.
Donate the pipe.
Donate
You
the
got
pipe,
it.
Bruce. It says Bruce.
Thank you,
Donate
Bruce.
This
the
is the
pipe.
one
donate
that
it.
fell in the toilet bowl last week.
Well, that's why he's donating
Yeah,
it.
we
Well,
don't,
well,
I don't even want to touch it, but
Yeah,
Awesome,
definitely
Bruce.
get
Thank you.
Bruce. Yeah, get Bruce to reach out to me. Get me his address. I'm gonna send Bruce something.
Bruce, send me the
Yeah,
info.
All right. Yeah.
Got
There you
that,
go.
buddy.
There
And
you
thank
go.
you.
Thank you, Bruce.
PMS Bruce your info so Kevin can send you a special surprise.
Kevin, thank you very much for that too. That's awesome. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh, you're quite
Kevin
welcome.
couldn't wait to get rid of those bag of rotten tomatoes.
Yeah.
What didn't he have a moldy cigar he was talking about?
Yeah.
Cigar from the old humidor. Yes, yes.
I'll just wipe them off.
Enjoy. It's not mold.
Yeah.
It's plume.
Yeah, it's Plume.
Bloom.
It's
Bloom.
sugar.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
Bloom.
sugar. Yes, yes, yes.
Congratulations, you
Thanks
just won a
again,
moldy
Bruce.
humidor.
Thanks again, Kevin.
you, guys.
It's been awesome having you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. We do.
It was
We do
awesome.
Yes.
appreciate it. Yeah.
For the rest of you guys
Thank you, Kevin.
and ladies that were on board, thank you so much. We
Hey,
wish you all
Ron,
the
Ron,
best.
right
Good
before
luck
you
next
end
week.
this, quick shout out to our sponsors: DAV Cigars out of New York, RNA Treasures out of Florida, Chicago Pipe Club here in Chicago, and Anchor.fm as our servers for our podcast.
And we
These are our
can't tell
sponsors.
the other ones because we're out of time.
We'll get them all on at another time. But anyway, thanks
Thank you.
again.
Thank
Kevin,
you, guys.
Appreciate
Kevin,
it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully we have you on
Cheers.
again soon.
It was awesome.
Yes.
And we'll
definitely.
get Jessica next time, okay? We'll tell her to put the kids on earlier.
Yes.
We'll go from there.
Yeah, do that.
Definitely will do.
Salute, everybody.
Salute.
Cheers.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Good night,
See you next
everyone.
week.